So I don't know from experience.
So we get him out of the car, and it's 3:30 in the morning. Redsox Hotel, it's a Commonwealth Hotel. The officers open them up and like walk him in there. Wouldn't you know there's still autograph seekers?
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the bang.
When the sun goes down, the music turns up. A whole new world opens up behind the velvet rope. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of the nightlife world.
Are you ready?
DJ Jason Smith, Jeff London. I'm the promoter, he's the DJ podcast, live from Boston, Massachusetts.
Jeff.
What an intro.
What a new intro, right?
Shout out Jason Smith on the intro. Unbelievable.
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty exciting.
I love that. This week, episode 2, sponsored by Manscaped. Get rid of that unwanted hair. Show off your tattoos. Get rid of that arm hair, chest hair. Get rid of it. Where can they find it, Jason?
You can find it at manscaped.com. And we have a code for y'all. It's called Find Your Balls.
Find your balls.
Because sometimes they get lost.
Just want to thank everybody for the support on the first show. It's pretty awesome.
I feel like we got a lot of great feedback, and it feels good because it's something that we put a lot of work into, and to see it come out that way and to get the response that we didn't even think it was going to get. We're just two fun guys having fun together.
And it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was easy. Definitely, man.
How was your week?
Week's been great.
Yeah. You watch any good shows? Any documentaries?
Well, of course, the big one.
Tell us it.
Yo, not for nothing. The movie was cool.
What are we talking about again?
The Big E documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the movie was cool.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking movie, you know what I mean? It's like, this barely touched on anything that's been put out before as far as the story of Biggie goes. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of it. There was another Biggie documentary, I think, that came out.
There was many, yeah. And plus the movie that, they had as well.
But nothing, they took elements of that because you have to take the same elements from the stories. There's parts of the story that are going to be the same everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So from what I saw, from my perspective, was it just had a really dope, in-depth look at parts in the back scene footage, really.
The footage, if people haven't seen it, there's a lot of camera footage from 97, from the old school camera.
The one with the tape. Joint, probably.
It's unbelievable, some of the behind the scenes footage that they have, and it's a must watch just to see that footage. I think
that footage has never been released before,
which is crazy to me.
Made it so it's been held on. This guy must have been like, yo, I got a pot of gold in my pocket.
Right. Yeah.
Let me get the right offer. Nobody wanted to pay him probably, and they just did the story was great, and that unreleased footage, it brought something that nobody else has seen, so it made it fresh again. It's not like you're seeing the same footage from this documentary to this documentary.
Right.
You know what I mean? I started watching the 6ix9ine one too, and that was a little different than the documentary on Hulu had one or something like that.
I haven't watched that one yet, but I wanted to see the big one. Even for people that haven't or weren't around that time of Big or don't know much about him.
Oh my God.
That documentary covers everything that you would want to be, showing the lyrics and showing how lyrical. I thought showing
the lyrics was so important because I've listened to Biggie my entire life since he came out, and it's like lyrically, and then it talked about that part about how he came up and hanging out with that guy that played the jazz, and
unbelievable
Big's, flow would imitate the solo jazz, so that's why he wrote lyrically I'm supposed to represent, it's just it's the patterns where nobody still raps ever to that day. Migos might have did something like that. They created their own
different
thing,
pattern,
and it was fresh. But going back to the Biggie thing, I have a little bit of announcement.
Ooh.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. Announcement.
So for the past 4 years, I think this project has been a passion project of mine. Mm-hmm. I acquired a lot of great Biggie acapellas, and I said, what a more wonderful way of paying homage to one of the greatest MCs of all time but put him with one of the greatest producers of all time that's no longer with us, and it was Dilla. So I'm working on a new package called Big versus Dilla. I'm trying to get it done by the March 9th. I know it's 5 days away, but I've been working on it for a long time, and it's something that brings Biggie fresh again. You know what I mean?
I can't. Two unbelievable people, from musicians, lyricists, or just all over, like, unbelievable people of our, I won't say our generation, generations to come. I mean, it's musical, yeah.
Both were creating something that hasn't been created before. Dilla had his own personal way of sampling records, and he almost made beats that were like kind of off beat a little bit, and Big had his own flow, so it was just like, it kind of goes hand in hand, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like between the two, because they were both, what's the word I'm looking for? They were both like entrepreneurs, but like, you know.
I mean, they were both ahead of their time as well.
That's it. Yeah.
And I'm excited for this project.
They were both great innovators.
They were great innovators. I'm excited for this project.
Yeah.
Get it done. Let's go.
So let's talk about this thing that I found out that I think you looked into a little bit. Mm-hmm. It was, speaking of Big in that whole era, we found out that there was a picture of Tupac circulating in the interweb that he had instead of a Death Row shirt on, it said Death Row East. So what did you find out anything?
So I found out a little about that. I dove in that a little bit, and what it was at the time when Big and Tupac had their rivalry, and not only that, East Coast and West Coast had a rivalry. They set up a Death Row East.
Now, was that to be in competition with Bad Boy?
100%. And there are some interviews with Suge and Tupac, and they're wearing, Tupac's wearing the East Coast, Death Row East Coast, along with people in the back with signs, you know. It never came to fruition. Unfortunately, Tupac died.
That's what kind of killed that East Coast Death Row act. That's what,
stopped it. But they were fully promoting it and wanted to do a full competition of that. Because the rivalry back then was unbelievable. It was.
I don't know how I feel about it, but I just feel like I don't think Big would actually do that to Pac. Like, I thought they were like really great friends.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Do you know the story how they actually hooked up? I'll make it quick.
Let's go.
So Naughty by Nature was on tour with Tupac, and Biggie ended up coming to the show. Trench, I guess it was Tretch from Naughty by Nature, introduced Pac and Biggie.
Wow.
And here's another funny story.
Let me hear it.
At one time in my life, I lived in Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see Z-Trip DJ.
Right. Awesome.
A group called Rotten Rascals at the time. They were around the same, Naughty by Nature, that like Newark, New Jersey clique. They opened up, followed by the Notorious B.I.G.
No way. So you've seen them live?
I saw them live.
Oh, that's something.
And the headliner of that concert was Naughty by Nature. So it was Naughty by Nature, Big. Yeah. And shout out to Z-Trip, my guy. He DJ'd behind, between the acts, and shout out to Fashion. Fashion was out there too. Fashion, so yeah, man.
That's crazy.
What else is going on, Jeff?
Well, so our IG, if you don't follow, I'm the promoter. He's the DJ. We got a question of the week on our IG, and I think this has to deal with both of us. And the question is, right now we are from Boston, or we are in Boston. And the question is, when nightlife opens back up, what do you think will change in terms of the new 1 year without being in the nightlife? So 1 year, it's coming up, 1 year of no nightlife.
Yeah.
What is going to change when we reopen from a DJ standpoint?
From a DJ standpoint?
And then I'll go with the from the
that's
promoter
awesome.
standpoint.
Yeah, let's do it. The DJ standpoint is, dude, I'm so disconnected from any music that came out in the past year, to be totally honest with you. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if that EDM bubble really just popped. Mm-hmm. I think that the clubs aren't going to have the budgets that they had before, so they're not going to have $60,000 DJs. And then I think the market is going to be really open to open format DJs as far as that goes. Because if you look at the timeline of EDM towards the back end of the EDM before this happened, EDM DJs weren't playing their set all night. They were dropping in hip hop records.
Right.
So I think, I don't know as far as musically, but I think the classics will always be there.
Right.
And then, you know, some music will start coming out the closer we get for that purpose, because people are probably holding on their projects right now. So that's what I'm thinking.
Do you think a lot of DJs will travel as much? Do you think the clubs are, since they don't have huge budgets, do you think DJ pricing will come down, or do you think DJs won't travel as much?
Well, I'm hoping that what will happen is that you'll still have your local guys getting that low money,
Right.
and instead of having your $60,000 DJs, we'll go back to the time when open format DJs were making like $5,000. That got eliminated when the $5,000 deals went out the door when they started having either a $70,000 DJ or a $500 DJ.
Right.
That middle ground was gone, and that was us open format DJs. So I'm hoping that comes back into that way, and I think clubs could really, flourish off that, because people want to keep moving. They don't want to hear the same music all night.
Right. Exactly.
What do you think is going to happen as far as the promoting side of things? Do you think it's going to become a little bit more difficult because people are going to be kind of scared to go out at first? Or
I think it's going to be the opposite for the first couple months. I think people have been cooped up for a year. They're getting a little taste of it now, going to restaurants to play a little music, or, sort of bars. So they're getting a little taste of it now. But when it fully opens up, I think the first month will just be an explosion, Monday through Sunday, nights going, everybody. And then the budgets, people's budgets are going to get tighter. They can't do bottle service every night. They can't.
No,
Yeah,
it's going to get a little weird.
yeah, they
after.
can't.
It's like when a club first opened, the first 2 months are just slammed, and
Right.
then it's like, all right, now the work really starts for you on your end.
Right.
You know it's a guaranteed smash out the gate for
Right.
the first 2
Yeah.
months, but okay.
And there's also, some places that might have closed, that have taken. So now it's a little bit more condensed in terms of people choosing places before.
But every market's going to be different, though.
Very true. Very true.
I heard that all the contracts for the DJs in Vegas are void because of the COVID.
That'd be crazy.
So what happens with that is now everybody's free to do whatever they want, free agent.
Right.
So I heard somewhere that the clubs in Vegas might come together. I don't know if this is true or not, but we had a conversation.
This could be
This could be
crazy.
speculation,
Yeah.
but we were talking about it. Somebody had said.
We'll put speculation in front of this one. Yeah.
So the guys are telling me that they wouldn't be surprised if all the clubs in Vegas came together and said, listen, they can control the DJ pricing now.
Right.
Before, the DJs had, I'm going to go over here and play so-and-so because they're paying me this much. Now the clubs are going to be in control of the pricing instead of the DJs.
Wow.
So that's going to change a lot.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah. It'll help our budgets as well.
Yeah. So you think it's just your work is going to take time after 2 months? People.
Yeah, I think the first couple of months is going to be an explosion, and then it will get back to what it was previous a year ago, where you're working for certain nights and people are settling for going out X amount of nights as opposed to just free for all. Because we're coming up to hopefully spring sometime
and
in summertime.
This is when our business gets busy, anyways.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we would just be coming out of that normally at this time
right,
of
yeah.
year,
regardless
of COVID.
Right. I mean, we're in March, yeah. So February usually lags, and then March, and they start coming out.
So that's like DJs. Like, we know that our January and February is going to be slow, so we need that extra pop of money on New Year's Eve. It carries us over.
Exactly, yeah. The New Year's carries over, yeah.
For a couple of months. Because the week after New Year's is just a wrap.
Yeah.
It's
a wrap for all of us. I mean, especially for us that we've worked 2-3 months to set up that one night, and then you're just exhausted, and it's craziness, and that first week.
Because I think it goes hard from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. People come back in town. that gets all busy. New Year's, bam, and then it's just like that's almost 3 months of straight party.
I mean,
party.
if you
big
go,
nights, those are huge nights.
Halloween and everything, from Halloween, on, when school comes back in September to Halloween, it's pretty crazy,
That's awesome.
That's it. Should we do a little story time?
Oh, we have a story.
We might have a story.
You want to tell a story?
I'll tell a story.
All right, tell a story.
Gather around, kids. It's story time with Uncle Jeff. The names have been left out to protect the guilty.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell.
Oh, yeah. Here it is.
What's the story?
It's story
bro?
time
Let's
with Uncle
go,
Jeff.
Bro.
Well, it's like a little two-part story, kind of. Awesome drop, by the way. Jason Smith on the track. This story
Yeah.
starts off with an athlete.
An athlete.
Can
we say what type of sport this athlete plays, or is that too much information?
a World Series ring
Oh, all right.
athlete.
All right, cool. So that must be baseball then, right? Am I correct?
You may-
World Series
Yeah,
baseball? Okay.
Correct. We are not saying, we're omitting names, though.
Of course.
All right. So this player comes in, fresh off a championship, comes into the club, ready to have a night.
Okay.
He doesn't have his World Series ring,
No.
but he does have his wedding ring.
Okay.
Gets into the night's getting great, partying, everything like that.
Of course.
Asked a couple of
Was the whole team there, or was it just him?
just him.
Oh, that's okay. All right. He's really partying.
He's
now.
partying. A couple people come up to say hi to him. A couple girls come up, they recognize him,
Of course.
everything like that. He slips off his wedding ring, slides it in his pocket.
I thought girls like guys with wedding
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it made him feel better. That if
Maybe,
he put it away,
maybe,
he wouldn't
yeah.
feel so guilty.
Yeah, maybe drinking swells his fingers and it hurt his finger. Yeah, you don't know.
I know how that happens.
Yeah. So he puts it in his pocket, party, night goes great.
Okay.
End of the night, reaches in his pocket. The wedding ring's gone.
No, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dump out your pockets. Dump out your pockets.
Okay.
Don't find it in his pockets.
All right.
The lights are on now.
Did he check the mini pocket that you have up on top?
Yeah.
Damn.
He
Son.
checked everything. Couldn't find it. So lights come on. He's got to go home to the wife. What do we do?
Yeah.
So I think it was
You
three
just
of
hope that she's sleeping. That's what you're gonna hope is gonna happen.
I think it was three of us. I think it was Winter, Ace Gershfield, myself.
Okay.
Started ripping up couches. Boom. Ripping up couches.
I mean, it could be anywhere, especially
Anywhere.
Like it could slip in the back and go underneath that couch cushion.
So
like,
we ripped up the couch cushions. Probably destroyed them, actually.
I mean, you're trying to save this guy's life, basically. huh?
Yeah. We find the ring. We found it about a half hour later. So he is
Half hour, you guys were saying?
half hour since the club
That's
closed.
actually not bad because you think it could
because by
be-
the time people got out and it
Dude,
cleared
it's not
it,
that big, and I'm sure it got kicked around on the floor.
It was.
everything.
It was. Yeah. So he's so happy. He's like, all right, let's take a picture. He puts the wedding ring on his middle finger, and it's a picture where where's a middle finger with all of us.
All right.
Fast forward after another champion and after another World Series,
Okay, now he's got two in his pocket, but
Maybe
not his
more.
wedding ring.
but maybe more. He is no longer married, by the way. Comes to the club again. This is many years after, and he's been celebrating heavy.
All right.
Celebrates.
Sounds like this guy likes that fun.
Oh, he loves to have fun. He's a great guy. Yeah. Comes to the club, has a night and a half. He was probably, been partying all day too. All his friends leave him. They, found other people to go, whatever. They leave. He's by
Just
himself.
left it. Now he's a real animal because now he's by himself.
Yeah. Once again, the lights come on and he's still there and he's the only one there. He doesn't need to look for his wedding ring this time. So we're sitting there and we're, as a Boston fan myself, I'm so happy they just won the championship. We're we're coming off, 2 days later or whatever the case may be.
The energy's still in the air, as you're saying.
Yeah, that we won another championship. So he's there still. we're like, I gotta get you home. He's not really in shape to go home. So we pull up the picture.
So not only you are a promoter, but you're also a babysitter of celebrities.
Yeah, the biggest babysitter. Yeah. I'm an adult babysitter. So we pull up the picture, and he's like,
oh, the picture of you guys
holy
holding up
shit.
middle
Like,
fingers
he's
up?
like,
Yeah.
you were the guys from, X number of years ago. Like, yeah. So I'm like, how am I going to get this guy home? I'm like, where do you live? And he's like,
I can't tell you. It's secret.
no, he told me I'm not going to give out his address. He's,
of course not.
yeah. But he's like, the Redsox Hotel is a Commonwealth Hotel. They'll give me a room there. The Commonwealth Hotel was down the street from this club.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, how are we going to get him there? He's a puddle right now.
No way.
So I walk him out of this club, and all of a sudden, my friend who's a police officer pulls up in a paddy wagon. I shouldn't say paddy wagon. It was a SUV cop car. Whatever. And I'm like, can you give us a ride to the
I mean, what a better ride. You could ever get.
Commonwealth Hotel? So we get in the car.
Yeah.
The back seat of a cop car. Thank goodness that was my first time in the back seat. Actually, second time, me and DJ Vice were not in trouble, but they took us in the cop car. So,
Shout out my man Vice.
yes.
Oh,
So they took
what a
us to
great
the
guy.
Commonwealth Hotel. It must have been by that time 3:30 in the morning. We got him back safe. He's trying to get out the back door, and in case you don't know, you can't get out from the inside of a back of a cop car.
I didn't even know they had handles back there.
Yeah, maybe they don't for obvious reasons. So
I don't know from experience.
So we get him out of the car, and this is 3:30 in the morning. Redsox Hotel, it's a Commonwealth Hotel. The officers open them up and like walk him in there. Wouldn't you know, there's still autograph seekers looking for people, and all of a sudden they see him dump out of a cop car and walk in. We got him in there safe.
Oh, he must have he must have like destroyed some kids. Like, Dad, what's wrong with that guy?
I don't know if any kids at 3:30 in the morning, but they must have been pretty wild, and those guys have a story to tell. But that is my story to tell. And that's story time with Uncle Jeff.
Story time with Uncle Jeff.
That's the first one. You're gonna get. That's a. We'll get one every week.
I had that kind of story happen with a DJ friend of mine, and I was like, God, if I ever saw my idol looking like that, I hope I never looked like that. Well, I bet you I've looked like that.
Yeah, we might have looked like that before.
I don't know.
But yeah, I haven't seen him since. But
I mean, I think he owes you something. Maybe he should give you a championship ring for.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, I had a Super Bowl ring on once. I had a big football player come in, and he was like loving my style, and he's like, "Yo, what's your name?" And I told him my name, and he was like, "What do you want to drink?" I said, "I want Jack Daniels." He goes, "Cool, I just bought you a bottle." It's like 3 in the morning. What am I gonna do with a bottle of JD at 3 in the morning?
Did you drink it?
I pretty much drank the whole thing, but I didn't look like a puddle. And he was like, "Yo, why don't you put this on?" And hands me this New Orleans Super Bowl ring. Whoa. And the like the New Orleans symbol is what
it's like the floor,
yeah, something like that.
Leaf to floor,
was all diamonds. It was fire, man. And I was like, whoa, that's sick. Yeah, man, that's my story to go with your unbelievable story. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Can we get the outro on that? That story time. Let's go one more time.
Let's get that one more time.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Gather around, kids. It's story time with Uncle Jeff. The names have been left out to protect the guilty.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Wait, what's that?
Oh, we got some.
Jeff, we got breaking news.
We got breaking news
coming in. Oh, this is so fun. Yo, so we do a segment every week. It's breaking news, and it's positive news because we're sick of fucking hearing all the negative shit that we get force-fed every day. So, Jeff, what's this week's positive news, brother?
We got some positive news this week. We talked about Jay-Z last week. Now we have another MC.
From that golden era of
From
hip-hop?
that golden era.
Cool.
Nasir Jones, a.k.a. Nas. So this week's news is that Coinbase, an app that people buy cryptocurrency on, is now going public. And one of the investors in it...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're a crypto company that sells cryptocurrency and you go on the stock market.
As an app, yeah, that's
crazy.
It's
Well,
kinda
this
crazy.
isn't a financial show, so don't look for hit us up seeking any advice.
Yeah, no financial advice coming from these two. So he was an investor in Coinbase,
Okay.
which is unbelievable. So Coinbase,
It's an app then?
it's an app. Yeah, he invested. Well, it's a website as well. He invested in 2013, and it was valued at 143 million.
In 2013, it was 143.
Coinbase is so it's now valued at 100 billion.
Damn.
So let's say Nas invested like $500,000.
Yeah. I'm not good at math.
Even if like the stake was diluted like 50%, he'd be worth 175 million.
Just off that one deal.
But you know what's crazy?
No, what's crazy?
Nas has Queensbridge, where he's from, Queensbridge Venture Partners. And some of the things that they
Shout out to Queensbridge. This is my old hood. I have to just pass there every day.
Queensbridge.
I felt so cool when I first moved in. I'm like, yo, that's where Nas live. Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sorry.
So his other notable investments are Casper, Dropbox,
I have a Casper mattress. We need them as a sponsor. I need a new mattress.
Genius. He's an investor in Lyft,
Lyft.
PillPack.
What's Genius though?
I don't know.
Me either.
We just know it's good.
Cut that.
And
Ring, right?
Ring.
Got bought up by Amazon, so that was a big come up. So he's just flipping it. I like to see that though. I like to see that because you see these people that came from unfortunate situations that took that outlet to create this beautiful music. Basically, at that time in hip hop, that was the news.
right.
That's how you found out what was really going on. You couldn't
Absolutely.
watch Channel 11 news in New York because they were just telling you the other stuff. To find out what was really happening,
Right.
you listen to the Nas,
Yeah.
Jay-Z. And to see those guys come from that, from literally selling drugs to now flipping Ring to Amazon and flipping Coinbase, like that's
It's crazy, yeah. Well, it's smart of them to invest in those things, and people invest in different things. Where you have nowadays, you see these people investing in these huge gold, diamond chains and things like that, where they could have, I think, put their money somewhere better. Because you're not going to be rapping when you're 50 years old, or you can be, but
Yeah,
you
you
won't
can
be.
be.
You won't
Don't
be.
say that, yeah.
You won't be as popular.
No.
You won't be making the money that if you invest smartly.
I read somewhere that a lot of these kids that are running around with these bags full, they get my bag, I'm getting my bag. I get it's cool, right? Mm-hmm. That's all the money they had. That's why they look like they got stacks because they don't got no money in the bank.
Right.
That's every single dollar that they have. So their backpacks look full as hell because
And that's their rent money, and they do.
yeah, that's crazy. And there's a lot of artists that are actually trying to help these younger artists. Like, just like sports. Mm-hmm. Come in, you're a rookie, you get this big deal. You have the older cats being like, you could get hurt next year, guy.
Right, exactly.
Do this. Mm-hmm. So you do have people, other artists that care for these young kids, and you have other athletes that care for these younger athletes. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think sharing knowledge is a beautiful thing. And I know I personally like to do that. And I think you do too. And I think that's why we're kind of here. We're here to tell funny stories and bullshit, but we're at the same time, there's something that could be learned in every episode that we have. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And on that note,
What's on that note?
give us the outro, which is the intro. But once again, before we do that,
Wait, hold up.
at Jason Smith Music,
At Jason Smith Music.
at I'm the promoter. He's a DJ on Instagram
And at
YouTube,
what Jeff Lund is.
at Jeff 6097. Let's go. Outro.
Yo, love, love, love.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the bang.